What the hell? Welcome back to my channel. We have a market in about a week, and so we have prep we need to do. It's Renegade, so you know, if you watch my Renegade vlog from the Christmas time, it was crazy. The spring one I don't think is going to be as busy and as chaotic. However, I'm still excited about it, and I have a good feeling about this one. Last year it was on Mother's Day weekend, which was a dud. I lost money, it wasn't worth it. But this weekend I feel like they've been doing a lot of marketing for it, and it's also on a better weekend, so we gotta prep. This year we are doing a half booth because last year during the full booth it just wasn't worth it for me personally, which means I am sharing a 6 foot by 6 foot booth size with one other person. So I've been using masking tape all on the floor, and we've been trying to figure it out how I'm going to set up my table. Let's walk you through it. This is the 6 foot lengthwise, and then across it's gonna end here. I didn't have enough masking tape for me to block out a whole square, but this gives me a good idea. Person that I'm tabling with is going to be a clothing brand actually, and I just looked up on average how wide a clothing rack is, because I'm pretty sure he's going to be bringing a clothing rack, and it's about 18 inches deep. So that's, I think, how much space he'll be taking up with his clothing rack. You may be saying, Sarah, your table is across the boundary. Do you know what you're doing? And yes, basically, I had my table pushed out. It ended like here, I want to say, and that doesn't give that much walking room for people to come into our booth and look around. I'm thinking if I order a 1.5 foot deep table or wide table rather than having this 2.5 foot wide table, it will make our booth feel a bit more airy and like you can walk through it a bit easier. I've just been trying to figure out if I can actually fit all of my display pieces on a thinner table the way that I usually do. And also, since people are going to be walking into our booth like this, it means that I don't have as much like front exposure, because usually my table is literally just front facing and people can see everything in one go. They're going to see my table on an angle. So I'm trying to see if I can angle all of my pieces outward so that way when people are walking by, they'll be like, oh, that's a greeting card right there, instead of it being like horizontal to them. Does that make sense? So I just did kind of like a little mock table pretty quickly, but since it's going to be 18 inches deep, I do have to make sure that I'm okay with this barrier here, which I will be okay with this. But for my greeting card display, that's going to be in an angle. And then for where I usually leave like the rest of my cards, it's just shorter than what I'm gonna have on the table. I do have a phone call with the person that I'm sharing the booth with in about an hour, so we're gonna kind of discuss, I guess, like how we could make this booth setup work. I do think that I'm gonna have to sacrifice the depth of the table or the width of my table for this market by ordering that new table. Sacrificing a little bit of space for this market is a little disappointing. But at the same time, I'm going to be in the building and I'm paying half the amount that I would be for a full booth, so it's almost worth it. And then the rest of the vlog this week is going to be prep for Renegade. So we need to print more cards, more art prints, make some polymer clay magnets. You know the deal. You know the drill if you've seen my other Renegade vlog. That was a little intro of me literally moving around my whole apartment. I put my kitchen table and everything on the rug so that I could actually see how it would work. I actually also this morning just worked on a new business card idea that I had. Since the majority of the things that I make are greeting cards, I thought I would make a greeting card business card. So I tested it out this morning and she looks like this. I don't know if it's in focus. So she's a little greeting card, and when you open her up, she has all of my information in here. And then we have the same back of the card that I have on my other cards. I just don't know how I feel. Like, I feel like it's cute in theory, but like in actuality, are people going to be like, I don't know, this is kind of weird. I don't know how I feel about it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. But like, that's kind of cute, right? Like a little business card that's a greeting card. Like I could have them like set up on my booth like that. Right, it's the next day and I have started to do a little bit of an inventory of my art prints. I printed off a bunch yesterday. I feel like when it rains, it pours, you know what I mean? Like, I got taken off the wait list for Renegade happening next weekend. And also Mother's Day is coming up, so I asked the stores that are selling my cards on consignment if they want any Mother's Day design. So I have to, basically they're like wholesale orders in a way. So I need to prep some Mother's Day cards to give to them as soon as possible. And then also one of the stores that I sell consignment at, they also also do my art prints, and she said that they were sold out of my tomato print and my dinner at 8 print. I had to print off a few of those for that store, but I also just wanted to make sure that I had some stock for the markets as well. So I was trying to kill two birds with one stone at that, but for some reason, whenever I print my art prints, my paper, it's like a tiny bit thicker than my regular cardstock, not even by that much, and it's also well within the range that the printer can print on. It likes to say that the paper is jammed, so whenever I'm printing art prints after the first couple of them, I have to like hold pressure down onto the print to make sure that like when it goes to print a new one, I'm pushing the paper down, so then that way it like actually prints. Otherwise it'll just say paper is jammed and nothing will happen. So that's like a little annoying, and after a while I was able to print all of these, but after that it was like my printer was just tired, so I stopped there. I'm gonna do the cello bag and the cardboard backing on them. That way I will have the art prints ready for that one store, and then I just need to prep for the Mother's Day cards for both of them. I don't have a bunch of Mother's Day card designs, but I just released this one. It's just a floral print, and it says Happy Mother's Day in script in the corner up here, so it's a very like minimal, cute one. And then I also have this one that just says Mom. I would spell it M-U-M, but obviously we're in the States, so we're gonna have to do Mom. Again, florals, it's like such a basic card. I think I might have another design for Mother's Day cards, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look on my iPad. We'll print those up, cut, fold, add the envelope, cello bag. We'll do that all together, and then I'll check back in with you when we're done with that. A few hours, but we've covered some ground. I ran out of ink because I ended up printing 200 business cards because I ran out of my old business card when I was putting them into the back of my art prints. Now, my old business card, I ended up leaving one out so I could show you the difference. My old business card was like this, so the front is like pretty much the same. They both have like the pink gingham sort of design on them, but I ended up just having my new logo on the front here, and then the back looks pretty much the same. Let me show you. Are we focusing? Yeah, so basically they look pretty much the same. I have the logo on the left side and then my information on the right. I just used a different font on the new one, and I also added a QR code on this one so that you could scan it and go to my Instagram on it. And I just feel like it was a good little upgrade to add that QR code onto this one. Focus! Yeah, so I like this one definitely better than the other one. We'll call it a day there. Because I'm out of ink, I can't print anything else today. I did do Amazon Prime, so they're going to be arriving tomorrow. I will see you guys when I have ink and I can print again. It is now Tuesday. We have printed so many 4x6 art prints. I have this whole stack that I need to cut. I did cut a few of them this morning already, so they're just like ready for me to put the cello bag and the backing to them. I need to get through this stack today. Truly, me printing these art prints the way that I've been printing them, where it's like I just cut them down to size. It does annoy me a little bit that I do have waste now with these art prints, in the sense that like the reason why I got 4x6 paper specifically to print on was because then I wouldn't have any scrap waste sort of thing, and it would just be like the size that I would need it to be, and that would be it. I wouldn't have this extra step of me having to cut them up. But I honestly feel like the amount of misprints that I was having was creating pretty much the same amount of waste that I'm doing now, because I can't sell those art prints because they're misprinted. So at the end of the day, I was like thinking about this yesterday while I was printing. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have so many like little scrap pieces. And then I was like, no, but like you literally won't have any misprints with these pretty much, because you're just printing them and cutting them down to size. So you're saving yourself time, you're saving yourself money on supplies and like all of that stuff. So I think it's okay. It just does bother me a little bit that I do see like all of this like scrap. It's just something that I've been like thinking about. But honestly, yeah, the plan for the day is for me to just continue to cut these. You know what I actually think I should do while I'm cutting all of these up, because printing these took hours. It takes so long for everything to print, because I have like 8 designs or something that I need to print, and I printed 5 pages of each of the designs, so it did take a little minute. I think maybe what I should do is I should set up a print queue of my 5x7 designs, and then that way while I'm cutting all of these up, I'm still being like ahead of the game in the sense, because I will be printing more things. Let's do a quick stock check of my 5x7 prints. They're gonna be in that little container there, and then that way we can just print them up and I can be so productive. That sounds like a good plan to me. So basically I wanted to get Sims 4 on my laptop, but in order to do that, I had to clear a lot of space on my laptop because I don't have that much storage space. I think I have like the least amount of storage you can get on a laptop. I used to have a folder on my laptop that had all of my card designs, my art print designs, everything like that. But I ended up having to delete all of those to fit Sims, and now I have to airdrop anything that I want to print from my iPad to my laptop every single time. And it's becoming a little bit tedious, I won't lie to you, but I just love playing Sims. So I was like, sometimes you gotta sacrifice some things, you know what I mean? So we have our printer queue going here. We've got all the designs. We're printing away here, and I'm gonna sit here and cut these up so that I can easily just press down on the paper if it says that it's jammed. So yeah, this is what I have to do. While it's waiting to print the next one, I hold down the paper so that I can feed through. 1:30 p.m. This is the time we're starting, and I'll check back in with you. We'll see how long it takes. It's the way I always overestimate how long tasks are gonna take because it is now 2:11, so less than an hour, and I have cut up all of the 4x6 prints, and we are almost done printing the 5x7 prints, which is kind of crazy to me that it always feels like when I'm printing it takes like hours, but this has been like 45 minutes and I don't have that many more to print. Like I think it's just gonna take another half an hour. It has been an hour and a half and we are completely done with art print prep. We have all of the designs printed with a good amount of stock, and then over here we have all of my 4x6 designs. Yesterday I was also able to print off a bunch of my more popular designs, aka I just printed off about 20 of my Hello from NYC cards and 20 of the teeny bit older cards. I think that's where we'll leave off the prep work for today. I am gonna go for a little bit of a walk, a sanity walk. I haven't been outside yet today, so I definitely wanna get outside and breathe in the fresh air. It's inventory day for greeting cards, at least. Am I blurry? Hey, focus up, champ. I've set all of my crates of cards out on here, and we're going to do what we did the last time we did Renegade, which is put all of my cards on my living room rug and just see how many we've got. We should be okay on the majority of the cards. It's just dependent on if I'm sold out of any specific ones. Right, everything is laid out. I just want to do a cross check on my iPad with all of the designs to see if I am missing anything, because I have so many designs. I'm like, am I missing anything? I don't know, because it looks like I have everything, but also my whole rug isn't full, and usually it is, completely full, so I must be missing some designs. I can tell that I need to print more of my wedding cards because I only have one of them. I need to print a couple of my I Seriously Love You cards. So I can already tell we're out of the Happy Birth Sleigh cards. So as I go through, I'm just going to select the ones that I want to print more of. We don't have my I Love You ones. We need more of these ones, probably more of those. I think we only have 2 of the Where the Hell Have You Been, Loca? And actually, the Where the Hell Have You Been, Loca, some markets it sells really well, and other markets it like doesn't sell at all. So maybe I'll just print like 5 of those so that we have a handful. It's all guesswork for me with my card. Some people might say like, well, on average you probably sell. No, every market a different card is a bestseller. It's kind of hard to gauge. I kind of know, like the martini one, I always know that one's gonna sell, so that's why I always try to have a lot of those. But sometimes randomly, like one of the cards from the Office collection that I do does really well. And then the next day, one from New Gold does really well. So it's hard for me to gauge. This is a really chatty vlog once again. There are a couple of designs that I only have one left of and I'm never gonna print again. They're gonna just be like discontinued cards because no one ever buys them, and I've had these ones printed for pretty much the whole time I've been doing markets, so like over a year. I had, I think, 3 of these printed. This is from To All the Boys I Loved Before, and no one has bought the last one yet. So once this one sells, it's gone forever. Same with my notebook one, If You're a Bird, I'm a Bird. No one has bought this one. I think I had 2, so one person bought one. This one will also be discontinued. 10 Things I Hate About You, I Love You Baby. I think I've had like a handful of these sold, but this last one is just holding on for dear life. So again, once it's sold, it's gone. You're an 11 out of 10. Obviously this came out in the height of like Stranger Things. I think because the last season, I think it's coming out this year, right? It might sell this year, but again, this one, it just isn't selling great, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Also, I have like 5 of my Barbie cards left, and again, like no one really has bought these. I think when it was super popular when it came out, I sold a couple of them and I got a wholesale order, I think, for like 10 of them or something, and then that made me think, oh, people will buy these at markets. No one has. So again, once those sell, those are gone as well. And then that way it'll leave room for me to make more designs or just to be able to print more stock of other designs that sell better. I don't have my K-pop cards out here. I'm gonna do that separately. And then I'm thinking while I am printing some restock cards, I might start doing some cherry magnets because I have sold out of my cherry magnets. So these are the only magnets I have left from the last Renegade. I feel like we have a decent amount of the other fruits. No one really likes the lemons. I think I made like 6 or 7 of them, so we only have 3, which is fine. I don't want to make any more of those. I think I might make them obsolete. I think strawberry wise we're good. We have a good amount of them that I feel like for this market it's totally fine. I don't need to make more. Maybe I'll try to make a few more of the oranges, but we definitely need more cherries, and I'm gonna try to make, I think, like 10 cherries, and then that way we have like a good haul of magnets. And then also my 6-foot table arrived. It's looking like it's my height, but I'm pretty sure it should be 6 feet. I didn't realize that this one doesn't fold in half like my other 6-foot table, so I don't know how it's gonna fit in an Uber. That's gonna be a fun thing to play around with. So tomorrow I think we'll do a mock setup with this table to see like what I can actually do, since it's gonna be much less wide than my other 6-foot table. Time to make magnets. ignore the fan that's on because when you cook or bake polymer clay, there's like this kind of strong smell. So I have my door open, fan on, and my air purifier on right now, so it might be a little bit loud. But I have been productive while everything has been baking. The set of cards that I printed have all been done and printed. So now I decided to be extra productive. I made my crate for the people to like look through at the table. So basically I take like 2 to 3 of each design and I put them in here for people to rifle through because I have too many designs for me to have like laying out flat in people's faces. I also started to plan out what I'm gonna have on my different table displays. So tomorrow when we do the mock setup, I'm gonna see if I actually like the way that it looks, but I can fit 3 rows of 3 on my wooden display. So this is what I'm thinking, having Taylor Swift, My Martini, Gilmore Girls, Hello from NYC, Beyonce, Gossip Girl, Charlie XCX, a Mother's Day card, and Jacob from Twilight. And then I also have a spinning display which has 4 sides with 3 slots. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do these ones. It's got kind of a good array of different ones. We have a Taylor Swift one and a Great British Bake Off one, along with some like food pun ones, and then the wedding one and my Mother's Day cards. I feel like this is a good array. And then over here I kind of just have some designs out that I would usually lay flat on the table because obviously I don't really like putting horizontal cards vertically like this because then people kind of will have to tilt their head for it. So I usually put these laying flat on the table, but since we have a less wide table, I don't know if I can fit these. So that's why I've left these out for now, so then that way we can kind of just see what will fit when we do the mock setup tomorrow. And then to actually pack and get to the market, I bring everything in cardboard boxes. I basically just use the boxes that my envelope stock comes in like this, and I just put the cards in there. So what I try to do is make 1 box for my crate stock, 1 box for my wooden display box, 1 for the spinning display box, and then the rest is just for like extra stock of things. Things that I have left to do other than the mock setup is to glaze my cherry magnets. I'm gonna let them just bake today and cool off, and then tomorrow or Friday we'll glaze them. We need to finish cutting and folding and adding the envelope and everything to the cards I printed today. I need to go through my K-pop stock so that we can see what I need to get printed for that. And then yeah, I feel like we'll be pretty good. Everything else will just be like packing up and getting ready to go. We have 5 minutes left until the cherries come out of the oven, and then I'll just let them cool down. Like I said, I'll glaze them tomorrow or Friday. But I'm feeling really good. Today has been very productive and it's only 2:23, so we're still like pretty early in the day, like it's early afternoon. I feel like I need to eat lunch. I'll stop rambling. Time to do the mock setup. Ugh. This is only 5 foot long. Fine, we'll figure it out. I'm having a bit of not a panic, but I don't know how I'm gonna do this table because I'm pretty sure I ordered a 6 foot one, but it's come as 5 feet long. Let me check my order, which means I'm a foot down from what I wanted. Yeah, it literally says 6 foot table, but it's only 5 foot long. What the hell? Okay. That's really frustrating. I'm gonna have to ask for a refund. But I just don't know how I'm gonna lay out this table for it to be the most profitable for me. Right now, I'm thinking I might have to get rid of my spinning display because let me just show you the setup and we can talk through it together. This is what we're working with so far. I'm assuming that it's gonna be like I'm on the right side of the booth, so people are gonna be walking in from here into the booth, so it'll be like walking in here, this is my table. So that's why I have some of the things angled towards us. But right now I'm like, I don't know if this will work because once it has the cards on it, it'll kind of be blocking some things. But also I think if I take this off, it'll give me more room to put my stickers and my bookmarks, because right now I don't really have room for my stickers or my bookmarks. I'm debating if I use some of these crates that I have left over to put underneath the tablecloth, and then that way I can prop this up to be higher, so then when you're walking up to the table it's going to be much higher and in your face. Okay, I'll come back once I've taken this down, tried to lift that up and just give the table a little bit more height and dimension, and we'll see what we're working with. But that's really, really annoying that it literally says that it's 6 foot long. It's 5 foot. I'm missing a whole foot of display. I'm truly sweating. It's been an hour and I've done a couple of iterations, but I think this might be the final one. This I still haven't really figured out, but I think this will be the table. Basically people, again, they're gonna walk in this way, and so that's why everything is angled towards us. I put my wooden display on a bunch of different collapsible bins here. It's not the most stable thing. I might just have to tell people to be like a little bit gentle with this, but I like the height that that's giving us, because that way I can put things in front of it without it covering that display. And this is a really important display for my table because it has 9 of my cards facing people. And then we have my, you know, the one that people can rifle through here. I put the K-pop cards all in this one. Usually it's also in one of these bigger ones with 2 sides to it, but because I have less K-pop designs, I thought it would be easier to just have them laid out in one line like this, and it's being propped up by a couple of these collapsible ones again, and again it gives us more room to play with. Then we have my art prints here. We have them in the 8x10s, 5x7s, 4x6s, and then we move on to the magnets with its price point signage there. We have my art print price point signage there, and then the cards one up there. And then I was able to put out my Mother's Day designs laying flat here, which I think will be helpful. And then my stickers and the price point signage for that here. The only other thing that I want to do is print out a bigger price point signage to go up here for like prices of everything, and maybe a QR code for like my Venmo. I feel like this is a good compromise of what my table usually looks like. So I'm not thrilled with how it looks in the sense that like, that's kind of crazy, the height of that and everything. But you know, because I'm only doing a half booth this time, I knew I was gonna have to make compromises, and I feel like I'm doing a good job with what I am working with. Yeah, I don't know if I'm still gonna be bringing this spinning display. It honestly will be easier for me to not. It's like one less thing for me to carry, so I'm not that upset that I'm not bringing it for travel purposes, but for like having more designs facing people and like drawing them in, I'm a little disappointed with that. This is good. This is good. I like it. It's fine. It'll do. I'm sweating so much. I do have therapy in 2 hours, so I'm gonna try to get this all broken down and everything before then. I have so much cleanup to do. I have all of this stuff on the table here. I have the actual table. There's a bunch of cards on the floor over there. My room is a mess. Oh my god, we've got a lot to do. But this vlog I feel like has already been long enough. You don't need to watch all of that. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow if I have anything to say, or just at the market one day, because we have Friday tomorrow and then it's Saturday. I'm nervous. I don't want this to be as bad as last year. We'll see, whatever. We'll figure it out. Okay, bye. have Renegade Day 2 coming right on up. It's currently 8:18 a.m. I want to leave within the next like 20 minutes so I can pick up a bagel and then we can head on out. I don't know what I want to wear today. I was literally so hot yesterday morning. The moment I got into that building yesterday, I was hot. And then I didn't start getting a little bit like chilly or like, you know, normal temperature until I want to say 4 p.m. and the market ended at 5 p.m. So the whole time I felt like I was gonna combust. I was so warm. I also feel like yesterday was kind of crazy, you know? There were a lot of people. Like I feel like for me, it wasn't sales wise as crazy as holidays. I definitely made more than I thought I was going to on day 1, which is great. I like covered table fee, so I'm feeling good about today. But for the amount of people that were in the building, I would have hoped for more sales, and I do think it could be because of the shared booth. People have to like walk into my booth. People can't really like see my stuff if somebody's actually in my booth as well. So I think having a shared booth is like a blessing and also not a blessing because yes, I have less money that I need to cover for the table, but also I'm probably gonna make a little bit less just because there's like I have less space for people to actually come and look at my product. It's not right in their face, you know? Usually I have a table that just faces out to people to look at, but now they have to walk into the booth, and a lot of people don't like to commit walking into a booth, and I get it. The social anxiety of like being like, oh, am I gonna have a conversation if I walk in here, you know? I get it. I also feel bad because if somebody's looking at my table, then it covers my booth mates, like clothing rack, and vice versa. If somebody's looking through clothes, then like my stuff is blocked. So shared booths are hard. I might just wear a skirt today and a short sleeve, and hopefully that'll give me more airflow and I'll feel a little bit better. That's all I gotta say. And we have day 2. I didn't film much yesterday. I felt really overwhelmed yesterday, honestly. Crying in the Uber on the way there. I was stressed. So I didn't film much, but maybe I can film a little bit more this morning. Outfit of the day, it's looking a little not cute with the puffin jacket. But I wanted to be warm walking, so I have heat tech on underneath, just like the leggings. And then I have a sweater on, but I'm probably just gonna end up wearing basically the black tee with the skirt. So it'll be cute, okay? It'll be cute without all of the other stuff, the outerwear on top, okay? We're here, time to wake up the table. AKA literally just take down the tablecloths. Perfect. And now we're ready for day 2. The only thing that I noticed is that this sticker display is broken here, so sometimes it gets a little top heavy and falls over, so I'm trying to lean it on the other one. And then these stickers don't really stay upright, but looking cute. I only have 1 gin sticker left and 1 Mingyu sticker left, so let's see if anybody's lucky enough to cop one of those. I also switched out my Mother's Day cards for these ones because no one was really getting the Mother's Day cards. I think I only sold 1 yesterday, so I decided to switch them for some other like fun ones. I had like 5 people buy these after I put them out on the table, so I definitely think this helped changing those out. And then we sold out of all of my lemon magnets, which I was literally saying in the vlog how no one really buys the lemon ones, but yesterday they sold out. I feel like I spoke that into existence. But yeah, my booth mate isn't here yet, but this is my table setup. So this is what I mean by like people have to walk in to see my stuff more, and when they're rifling through my cards here, it's directly in front of his rack of clothes, so it's very tight in this space and you have to walk in order to get to the cards. That's just one of the annoying things about a shared booth, but I think it looks cute. I think having everything angled out was really helpful and worked a lot yesterday, so that was a good tactic. I think I'm just going to change these around so that there's all different facing prints out front. Last night I made some brownies for some of my vendor friends, so I'm gonna go bring them over some brownies now and maybe eat my breakfast with them. I also got a bagel, so I think I'll go do that. I'm already sweating. I need to take off my sweater, but I did take off the leggings already, so but it's just so warm in here. Breakfast has been eaten and I have finished zhuzhing my table up and taking a couple of pictures of me with the table, and now I'm going to do a little walk around and see if I can show you some people's tables, because I have a couple of friends here today, so I want to show you their booths as well. This is Roly Poly Studios, and they've got a lot of cute stuff. You can get some cute little minis. I'm obsessed with all of them. So much cute stuff. Look how cute. I think this might be my favorite though. The dog mugs. Like, okay. Mean muggin. She's got really cute ceramics. This one's my favorite. Tiny VS has really cute ceramics and jewelry. So cute. We are open. I've sold a magnet and a couple of cards so far, and we're like half an hour in, so a good start. It's relatively busy. Foot traffic is picking up. Lots of people. Since I'm in the back, it takes a lot of people to filter through and then get over to my table here. So yeah, it just takes a minute for everybody to get from all the way back there to right here. Here's a little behind the booth situation. I've got my cash box and snacks, and I have my little tally book, everything down there. Can you see how red I am? I am sweating. It is so hot. We are 2 hours in and it's so busy, but I feel like my sales aren't reflecting that. But I've still made a decent amount of sales, so can't complain too much. But I am really warm. It's really warm in here. My friends, Roly Poly Studios, their booth is over there, and it's always so crowded over there. I hope they're doing okay. The day's over and it's time to pack up and leave. I didn't film anything talking to the camera after that clip, so I thought I would just come on here and say thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long and chatty vlog, but I really do appreciate you sticking around if you are still here watching. This weekend was honestly better than I expected it to be. Like I was saying before, I do think the half booth hurt me a little bit in my profits, but overall I still made a good amount, so I can't really complain too much about it. And I also learned that I can do a half booth and a small table like this if I'm just like creative with the height and dimension of my table display. So it was all a learning experience at the end of the day. We now have to completely pivot, and in a couple of weeks I have my first Bryant Park market, and that is going to be an 8-foot by 8-foot space completely to myself. And I'm kind of nervous about it because, like this one, I had to be creative with having only 3-foot by 3-foot, right? I'm gonna have the most space that I've ever had at a market, and it's also an outdoor market, and it's also a 3-day market, so it's a lot of firsts for me. And yeah, it's just basically like a complete pivot from this market entirely, and I don't know how that one's gonna go at all because I've never tabled at Bryant Park, so it's gonna be an interesting one. But I'm excited for the challenge, and especially because this market ended up being much better than I thought it was going to be, I'm hopeful for my next few markets to be pretty good. I feel like I always have the tendency to be like quite negative and see what could go wrong instead of just like, you know, being hopeful that it could work. So I'm trying to be more positive and more optimistic going into my markets in May. You can find my schedule on my Instagram, smar.art. Thank you so much for watching again, and like, comment, and subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully it won't be as chatty and long.